Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Message Matters. My name is Joe Steuter, Chief of Client Strategy and Head of Communications at Intentionally. And I'm coming to you from my desk today, rolling right in, as I've been on a number of different client calls all day. I think I've had 8 or 9 conversations just today, and that's been a reflection of a really busy first 6 weeks out of the year. And it brings up something. I've had a few calls today that just compelled me to want to share a few things with everyone. This whole series is about how to help advisors and fintechs build better connections with their potential clients and current clients through the art and the science of messaging. And something that really became obvious to me over the last few weeks in talking with more than 60 of our clients here at Intentionally through the first 6 weeks of the year, there's one thing that just continues to be a common thread for the firms that seem to get off the blocks quickly with their marketing plan, and they're weeks ahead already to their competition because they're able to nail one thing, and that is their brand messaging. And this could be either re-exploring some things from needing a refresh from years of doing the same thing, or they're in the process of reinventing themselves and they need to find ways to articulate who they are and what they provide to those ideal clients. So in talking with more than 60 firms here across the first 6 weeks, we built marketing plans for all of them, by the way. And what we're noticing and what I'd like to talk about today is the art of touch points and molding those pivotal moments to make an impact within your marketing. Oftentimes, once we get this brand messaging in play, we don't think strategically about how to mold these pivotal moments and these touch points to make an impact in very purposeful ways. So here's a few questions that I'd love to throw your way to help you mold your pivotal moments here as you build your marketing plan for the year. 1, as you think about your touch points, think about how you would answer the question for if you've established an identity as a go-to guide for solving a certain problem in someone's life, or how do you know that others know you have this expertise? Oftentimes it's hard enough for advisory firms and fintechs to very clearly state the problem they solve and how they are that trusted guide for those seeking help. Is that in your brand messaging? Is it on your website? Is it clearly stated in social media posts and lead magnets, guides, videos that you're putting out, podcasts? That needs to be front and center. So be sure you incorporate that language of just having an established identity as the go-to guide for X. Second, how do you know when your client has a need? We've talked a little bit about this in previous episodes, but we're humans. We desire an emotional connection with the brands who are engaging with us every day. We want that connection up front, and we want to engage in a conversation as we learn more about each other. Just like we would in building a friendship or building a relationship, we want to do that same thing with the brands who are starting to provide value. So think about how you know, and how do you know at this stage in the year, at this stage in your marketing journey, how do you know when clients have a need? Are you looking at certain metrics, whether that's your website traffic, your social media following, how many downloads you get for a tax planning guide, whatever that may be? Look at the metrics and then really dive into what those metrics are trying to tell you about how people engage and learn more about your firm. 3, what value do you provide when you do know how clients are coming to you and what they're looking for? Clearly, the message has resonated for one reason or another, but what value are you making unmistakably clear to them in the moment that provides them with some reassurance about the fact that you are the go-to guide in these circumstances? And then number 4, and finally, think about how you have clear call to actions. So if somebody gets this far in the conversation with you, How do they know what next steps to take? And you may think this is a silly question, but this is the single biggest factor I've seen just in the past 6 weeks of what separates a great marketing plan from a good one. And that is a firm that understands with every engagement and every touch point comes a clear call to action, guiding that potential client to the next stage. You may have this listed on your website right now. You may put it in the occasional social post. You may even have those call to action buttons in an email newsletter. But do you have all of your touch points accounted for? And how do you see that potential client moving from one touch point or one marketing channel to the next? And do they have a very clear path of the next step to take? Just the next step. You don't have to explain your entire value proposition in one engagement, in one moment. Think about how each interaction leads to the next. If you can do those 4 things, you will be weeks and maybe even months ahead of your competition, and you'll be making a larger impact with those clients each and every day. Until next time, thanks for watching.